Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Ryan, and welcome to watching a grown man fall into a deep, deep depression because of a video game. The season, as you can see, it is July 6th. We are 29 and 54. We are 16 games back from the NL East. We are 15 and a half games back from a wild card spot. It is July 6th. Like I said, it's not looking good. It's looking like tank mode pretty soon here. I just want to say that I don't think I've ever had such an unlucky save in my entire out of the park baseball time playing ever. Um, I, I don't even know where to begin. Number one, our pitching has not improved. Our defensive efficiency and zone rating have improved, which makes sense with the addition of Nick Ahmed, and Michael Ciani is locking up the center field, two of the most important defensive positions. CJ Abrams, no slouch, and at second base. Uh, our offense, we're second in stolen bases. That's nice. We're eighth in runs scored. We're fifth in batting average, 10th in WOBA, 11th in batter war. I think slight improvements from last year, but not by much, granted. You know, we are 11th in pitching war, but we are eighth in strikeouts, which is, I expected to go up because we got a lot of guys with some good stuff. And I don't even know where to begin and what to show you guys and how. I mean, like when I say unlucky, you guys will see. Uh, First off, some good news. I brought us back here today because we have gotten the new top 100 prospects. Luca Reyes, my seventh round draft pick in 2023 last year, has significantly improved. High work ethic guys and stuff like that tend to develop and have good talent change, randomness odds. So that has gone very well for us. He's the number 6 prospect. Dylan Cruz is still the number 10 prospect. And I'm sure you guys can figure out we are the number 1 farm system, which is good because we're 29 and 54. Robert Hassel III is still the number 17. Is still a top 20 prospect. He's number 17. He's been doing very well in AAA. It's just very unfortunate. I don't have a lot of room for him. I so I'm banged upstairs. Don't have a lot of room for him on the roster. Mainly because like I have way too many lefties. I unintentionally ended up with a bunch of lefties, so I've had to trade and make differences and adjust the roster. I've been doing that consistently every single week. We've just been doing poorly and poorly, and I finally found a pretty good combination of players. So I'm actually pretty happy with where we're at right now. But the first few months of the season, like I was sitting here with my my head in my hands. I just could not continue watching. We have Luis Rojas. He was an international free agent signing that I showed you guys. He is the number 38 prospect. And Andy Pajes is the number 75 prospect. He is currently on the major league roster over Robert Hassel III, only because he's a righty and he's got pop, which is something that we are severely lacking. So that was the good news. Let's get into the bad news. The bad news is that we have been some of the unluckiest pitchers and some of the unluckiest hitters that I have ever seen in a out of the park baseball game. CJ Abrams is not doing too poorly. He had a far better beginning to the year, but he's at negative WAR right now. He's 0. Probably like 0.5 or something like that. He's projected for negative 0.1. He's a good defensive second baseman, so his defense isn't letting down. He's a maniac on the base pass, but this is an awful, awful ratio for someone with 75 stealing and 65 speed. We go ahead and these are just good. This is a good player. This is a good hitter. These are all good. OSA likes him even more. And yet he has a 79 OPS plus. He only has 6 home runs in 82 games. And I'm sure if we were to go take a look at his BABIP, it's good. I don't understand what's happening with CJ. I truly don't. He's striking out the same and walking the same. He's just not. He's just. I don't know what's wrong. So Alex Relov has had a fantastic year. He has 17 home runs, has a ground ball hitter. This is Alex Relov is someone I'm probably going to end up trading. I know I got arbitration on him, but he's going to be due for big money if he continues to have a year like this. And I also don't think that these ratings, right, turn into a 150 OPS plus, but these ratings turn into a 79. And Kirillov is a negative defender. He is a net negative defender. And he still has 3.0 WAR, a ground ball hitter. Okay, great. Damiano Palamigiani has been doing fine for us. Again, I just needed righties in my lineup. Luis Garcia has had an upturn in fortune. See, like very similar ratings to CJ Abrams, but he has a 118 OPS plus and 1.2 WAR. He's finally locked down and starting to figure out third base, the hot corner. Jonathan Aranda has had a horrendous year. A big turn from his 171 OPS plus 3 WAR season. In more games, the exact same game started, he has negative 0.7 WAR and 62 OPS plus. I am probably going to drop him to AAA, which is extremely disappointing because I don't have a lot of players that are significantly better than him. Keibert Ruiz has been tragic. 58 OPS plus, batting 216. He's striking out 18% of the time, even with 75 avoid Ks. I've benched him against lefties. I'm a loss for words. James Wood has been performing, which is great. All of our youngsters are performing well, but all of the players that are supposed to be good have not been. Michael Ciani, 70 OPS plus, but that's fine. His defense makes up for it. He's a positive WAR player. 13 stolen base, 2 caught stealing. He has 65-65. Refresher, CJ Abrams has 65-75, and he's getting caught every other time he tries to steal a base. Nick Ahmed has been extremely good at shortstop. As I previously said, he's the best, one of the best, if not the best shortstop in the league defensively. And he has a 78 OPS. This is the same hitter, OPS plus wise, than CJ Abrams. I can't, really trying to emphasize how unlucky this team has been. You know, Carlos Perez has been fine, but not great. 75 OPS plus following a 147 OPS plus season. You know, these are limited sample sizes. Andy Pajes has been good. We mentioned him. Nick Madrigal has been great. 123 OPS plus. And he had blurred vision for a little bit, for like 3 days, and he's still hitting better than CJ Abrams. I'm a bit lost for words. I don't think this is a bad team. And we'll go over I'm sure you'll notice a few players are gone. We'll go over the trades. I wanted to just limit the size of the videos, and I just wanted to go month by month and just show you guys what's been going on. So that's that. That's the hitting. Don't even get me started on the pitching. As you can see, Sandy Alcantara is gone. He is no longer on this team because 3 days in, when I asked my scout to get a scouting report on him, he ended up being a 2-star player, and it showed. His Sierra was like 6, but that was even. I mean, which was crazy. Take a look at Sandy. He's up to a 2.5 now, but he had a 5.47 Sierra, but he still had a 3.33 ERA. And you'll see, I just asked for a prospect. I got this guy, Rylan Brannon, 28-year-old minor leaguer. And he's injured. Right? Naturally. That's all I asked, because he was just bad. And then as we see these Sierra, this is not a bad Sierra rating, my peripheral of choice. I'm sure obviously everyone's going to be like, well, see, you probably shouldn't be at Sierra. But I mean, like, as you guys can see, look at these ERAs. So let's go to the best Sierra, Christian Montes de Oca. He's up on the Major League roster. He's only got 6 innings, but his ERA is 7.11. He has a 1.33 CR because he's striking out 13. He's walking only 1. He's only giving up 1.4 home runs, a 1.11 whip. And despite that, he has a 7.11 ERA. Limited sample size. Okay, well then let's move on to the next one. Jimmy Burnett, he's been fantastic. A great waiver wire addition for me. Someone that I'm not sure if I claimed him on the last video, and if I didn't, I did. And he's been great. This 80 slider, I always scream that, breaking and off-speed pitches that are 70 plus are just so good in OOTP. So I grabbed him. He's been great in reliever role. How about Phil Bickford? He's at a 2.76. He's been great. Even with a .342 BABIP, he still has a 3.1 ERA. These are good. These are the good. This is what I expected from these guys. But we're going to start going up the list. I claim Seth Lugo off the waivers. He's a starting pitcher for me because I think he's a good starting pitcher against 70 curveball, 60 stuff. This is a good starting pitcher, and he's proven that. I'm happy. He's been a great late addition quarter of the way through the season addition for us, and he's proven himself in 3 games starting for us. Brant Herter has started games. He's been performing very well. Look at that. 8 Ks, 1.9 walks, a .92 fit whip. That's great. 170 ERA plus, 3.17 CR. He's been great. Wonderful. And it's going to start to get a little ugly. Cole Henry is one of the best closers in the game. And even the projected role that OOTP says he should be starter 35 stamina is a little low for me. I'm thinking about having an opener for him, but I'm opting to just keep him as our closer because he's just been so elite as our closer. He's a 3.33 Sierra, 139 ERA plus 3.1. Great. Okay. Traded for Mark Leiter. We'll go ahead and take a look at that trade really quickly, but he's been great. Again, most of these guys are additions that I made because the people that were on our team and on the roster were performing so poorly. You'll see what I gave up. I traded away Matt Carpenter. This is him now. The Cubs cut him. He's on a minor league roster. Look at this. I gave him 21 games and I cut him. That's how bad he was. This was supposed to be a 3.5 star guy. And he just got wrecked because of his age. He had a 52 OPS plus. He was batting 4th and sometimes 3rd for me. 36% strikeout rate. Walking 7.5% of the time, even with that discipline. Irredeemable. So I got Mark Leiter Jr., and I'm very happy about that. Adrian Morejon, look at the 3.72 ERA, a 1.45 FIP, not great. 9 Ks, 4 walks per 9 with 55 control. He has a 6.24 ERA with a 3.72 Sierra. I started him a few times, and he sucked. He was awful as a starter for no reason. Joe Mantiply, he's been performing fine. 3.76 Sierra. 8 Ks per 9. 3 walks per 9 with 65 control. Sure. He's a 5.73 ERA. Carlos Vargas, extreme ground ball, 75 movement, still giving up a home run per 9. He has a 3.78 Sierra, but he has a 5.08 ERA. He has an 86 FIP minus. Why? Why is the FIP in the Sierra so different from his ERA? It's just unlucky. That's how. Tyler Meagle, who's just been performing fine. He has a negative FIP minus, which is great. He's got a 3.85 Sierra, great. He's striking out 8, walking 3, giving up 1.2 home runs. That's fine. 45 movement. That's great for him. 4.79 ERA. Sean Dubin has not been getting the curly W's for us. A 5.1 ERA, despite the fact he has a 4.12 Sierra, but his FIP doesn't like him either, and that's even with a bad BABIP. He's not striking out the amount of people that I was expecting him. He dropped from 13.1 Ks per 9 in AAA to now 8.3 in major leagues. Sure, right, naturally. Tanner Scott has been abysmal for no reason. He's walking 9 batters per 9. With the Dodgers in the same amount of innings, he walked 3. and then 5-13. Major League 6.6 in Miami. But he had a better ERA when he was walking 6.9, and I don't understand. What am I doing wrong? I'm sorry that I'm whining. I'm essentially whining, but I'm perplexed. Has there ever been such an unlucky save that you've ever seen? I don't think so. This has been abysmal. John Gray, I'm sure you've noticed, is gone. John Gray's gone. I'm trying to remember. I've traded so much. We'll go ahead and take a look at some of the trades. Keegan Thompson is in AAA because he just wasn't good enough. A 5.36 Sierra in only 3 innings. But we just have better players that are ready for the spot. As in Christian Montes de Oca, who's performed very, very well for us. All right, let's go and find some of the trades that we've made. I'm sure if you guys noticed, Ivan Castillo, our Rule 5 draft pick, I cut him. He wasn't good. He had a 57 OPS plus. He was striking out 28% of the time with 65 avoid Ks. Josiah Gray's in AAA because he was giving up 2.3 homers per 9. I'm kind of giving up on him. I'll probably end up trading him. Drop Josiah Gray for Seth Lugo there. Jonathan Loizaca's gone. He was fine. It was just that the offer that we got was just good enough. We gave them Christopher De La Cruz. We ended up with 3 minor leaguers, 23-year-olds, a 22-year-old outfielder, and Gabe Emmett, none of which are like, I mean, Junior Garcia is probably the best one, and even that's not saying much. But Loizaca, he's in arbitration. He's going to ask for $3.6 million. No thanks. I'm furious. There's John Gray to the Twins. We got a decent second baseman, left corner outfielder. Sure, and even he's been unlucky. He's a 27 OPS plus all of a sudden. John Gray, how's he been doing? Yeah, he's been just as bad as he was for us. It's just been such a major disappointment. We'll go back to May. Don't know if it's there's the Sandy Alcantara trade. There it is. Got Mark Leiter. I don't even know what to say. Matt Carpenter. There's that trade. Up and down moves. I got Gabriel Arias off the waivers. He should be in the major leagues. I just don't have the room for him. Everyone that I have on the team, I'm pretty happy with for the most part in their positions. I've already got Madrigal to cover. CJ Abrams can cover shortstop. Louis Garcia can cover shortstop. But if any of them get injured, I'm ready to bring up Gabriel Arias. I have Kristen Pache. He's on our team now, but only because we didn't have someone that could play center field at an elite defensively. So he's just our backup, like, defensive outfielder. So I don't really care about his hitting too much. You know, he's got negative 40 OPS plus, but still only negative 0.1 WAR because his defense is just so good. And there's the Sandy trade. Yep. And so that's all the trades. That's all you guys have missed. I can feel the low energy, and I sincerely apologize, but I am low energy. This has been mentally exhausting. But a few days from now, first year player draft, we're going to have the first pick. We are going to keep optimism high. We're going to hope that we try and pull off some sort of miracle, and or we tank so bad we get the first pick next year. Right. Trade potential, Nick Ahmed might be gone. Seth Lugo is an interesting trade candidate. Tanner Scott, Corey Abbott, Joanna Don. Anyone that we can't keep next year is probably going to be gone. This offseason, Carlos Perez, I'm probably going to end up trading. Kirillov is a trade candidate. Mark Leiter might be a trade candidate. Madrigal might be a trade. I mean, this is just abysmal. This is just There's nothing fun about this, and we still have to pay Steven Strasburg, and he's having a decent year. The mother, I mean, almost almost cussed really badly there, but Sixto Sanchez on the waiver wire. So let's go ahead and let's simulate the games, and let me get us to the Rule 5 draft pick. And it's just been loss after loss after loss after loss. Tyler Gentry might not be too bad. This might be one of the better Carlos Perez trades we can get. Not an awful prospect. We got to give up. No, I'm not going to give up. No. It's a fun name. Mikulski. I kind of just want to take him. It just seems like OOTP is just loving these breaking pitches. Matt Wallner. Okay, that's actually kind of interesting. Why did they cut him? Oh, he's got 68 OPS plus. Does he still have option years? So I'm an option 3 times. Might honestly be worth it to grab him and stick him in AAA. We have Andy Pages, though. He's a lefty, too. I don't need lefty bats. Oh, my God. I do not need lefty bats. We beat Pittsburgh. We lose to Pittsburgh. Let's go check out why. Antiply opened. Gave up a run. Tyler Meagle came on. Allowed 6 hits. Naturally. Kyle Gibson allowed 3 hits only in 6 innings. Kyle Gibson. I'm going crazy. I need like the Homer Simpson meme. Shaking. I can't even. 1 hit, 1 K. CJ get hurt? No. Just got subbed out. CJ was playing DH. Love that for him. I can't even look at these box scores and make you want to throw up. We lost again to Pittsburgh. And he gave me TJ Friedel and Gage Workman for Carlos Perez and Aldo Ramirez. No thanks, not with Aldo. Let's see why we lost to Pittsburgh. We were winning. We had a 2-run home run in the bottom of the first, and then run scoring single. How many people did they leave on base? 6 to our 7. All right. Well, it's the Rule 5 draft. Let's try to keep the optimism up. It's been very frustrating. I just need to get it into my head that this year was, I just really wanted this year to be a little bit better. We're going to end up being worse if we continue like this than we were last year. And I feel like we've just made great improvements. I feel like our season was pretty strong. Very disappointing, but let's digress. This is freaking crazy. He only throws 87, 89, but that is a wild pitching profile. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. He could play defense too. I don't think I even want to look at the other ones because I feel like I'm going to ask my scout and he's going to be like, yeah, this is the kid with like a 90 potential changeup, and then you should probably go with him. Ty Evans, cool. Probably the more refined prospect, college junior. Owen Pino, $12.5 million signing bonus. Ask, no thanks. Tommy White. Oh, okay. He's like ready for the major leagues. That's interesting. He's a righty bat. I literally think I might be able to draft him and play him in the major leagues. That's absolutely insane. And OSA thinks he's even better. 85. And then we'll take a look at this 2.5-star guy. This is a good shortstop. This is 65 out the infield range. This is actual playing shortstop. I'm assuming when I click this button, it's either going to give me Tommy White or it's going to give me Mason Russell. OSA mock draft has us taking Tommy White and then Mason Russell. And my scout recommends that we take Tommy White. Seems like Tommy White's the consensus #1 pick, and I guess I will not. I won't deny that. This is a wicked profile already. I mean, he's pretty much major league ready. Probably will go straight into AA and then AAA this year. So that's exciting. But Mason Russell, man, shout out. You know, if you were throwing your fastball a little harder, I think it would probably be a lock for Mason Russell. I mean, 80 control and 80 stuff is insane. But he's only 18 years old, so it's like, will he ever get there? I would say doesn't think so. I don't think he'll get to 80. So we'll do the smart decision. We'll take Tommy White. Take a quick look at some of the better contact guys to keep, for me later. Okay, we got Nick Madrigal Jr. right here. It's a guy named Colby Backus. Cool. This guy's got 80 discipline. That's always okay. From Virginia Beach and went to Virginia Tech. I saw that. I peeped that. Got a guy with this, really only 2 stars. I'll keep an eye on him too. All right. Well, like just last time, I will do the first 5 draft picks, and then I will, sim the rest, and then I will come back towards the trade deadline, and hopefully we end up doing better. So we have officially taken Tommy White. Very exciting. First baseman. He can't play third base, and his outfield, he's a first baseman DH type, but his bat is so good that's probably fine. See San Francisco take the pitcher. They don't. They fumble the bag, as the Marlins normally do. They absolutely fumble the. Oh, that was the Giants. The Giants don't normally fumble the bag. Marlins don't fumble the bag. They fumbled the bag. It's actually, I mean, it's actually not an awful profile. All right, let's see. Henry Allen is still here. He's got high work ethic. So he's interesting. Well, we got a pitcher who can hit. That's fun. Impossible to draft him, though. Little unfortunate. Don't know why. Are these guys elite defense guys? I don't know why they're getting ranked 3.5 stars. I mean, I do, but I feel like what's the difference between them and Dedrick Fabian? Right? Like what? I mean, perhaps maybe this guy, Andre Madugno, from Upper Saddle River, New Jersey. He was born in a river. Think about that. Well, I feel like it would be dumb to not take Henry Allen here. And I can't imagine there are any good starting pitcher prospects out there. This guy's interesting. 70. Oof. That's pretty wicked. Don't know if I'm going to take him with the second pick when I think I could get him a little bit later. This is that's cool. I don't mind that. And this guy's impossible. That's the 2-way player. That hopefully will be on the list next year, and we will probably be up there to be able to draft him. Henry Allen, yeah, I mean, that's my scout. I'm sure if I hit scouting director recommends, they're going to say Henry Allen. I'm thinking Henry Allen. He's got high work ethic. Yeah, he can't play third base to save his life. He's a first baseman for sure, but let's take the high school senior, Henry Allen. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so this Ethan Puig guy's cool. I like this. This is a good profile. Might think about that pitcher. With 70 stuff. I think that's pretty fun. I'm a big stuff guy. We also kind of lack starting pitchers right now. They want me to take Eli Parker. No, I think I could get someone similar to him towards the end of the draft. This is cool, but he's impossible to draft. Talon Bell. Little 2-way potential. Might be, 2-way potential might technically be worth more value-wise than Ethan Campbell. So I might just end up taking that starting pitcher instead. 60 stuff, still nothing to scoff at, especially for a starting pitcher. Yeah, let's go ahead and go with Talon Bell. two-way potential. If I go scouting director, recommend me a starting pitcher. He wants me to go Ishan Kambal. I feel like I got to trust my instinct. 80 curveball, 70 changeup. That's pretty nasty. He's only throwing 89, 91. But 70 stuff with mixed with that. That's pretty nasty. All right, we'll take Campbell. And we still get the option of Talon Bell, and I'm going to take it. I'm not going to ruin it. Two-way potential, so I'm essentially drafting a guy that could either end up a pitcher or a hitter. So that's pretty good. Did we have any compensation picks? I'm trying to think. I don't think we would have. No, we don't. Yeah, let's just try to remember. Okay. And let's look back at the hitters really quickly. Is that, what's his name? Nope, looks like the Ethan Puig kid got taken. Pretty unfortunate. We got a line drive hitter, switch hitter. He's impossible to draft. Just saw that. It's fun, though. Ethan Murray. Low work ethic. Low work ethic is tough. There we go. High work ethic and adaptability. And intelligence, excuse me. How about that eye? Yeah, this guy. That's a fun. Definitely not worth drafting now. Can't draft Matthew Champion. I hope you're here next year, man. I hope you are here next year. That is for sure. Jackson Nicholas, he's pretty much ready to be in AA or A+ ball right off the bat, huh? I'm going to take Ethan Murray was one of the guys that I liked. He has low work ethic, which is a little scary, but I think these overall ratings are, you can't deny. He'll be a really good infielder. 55, 60, 60, 55. Yeah, he strikes out a bunch, but he's got good contact. We'll take Ethan Murray. All right. Those are the first 5 draft picks. I'm going to draft the rest of them. And hopefully we end up just like we did last year with the top 100 prospect in the later round. So I will look and do my best to find some high work ethic, good hitters, and good pitchers because we so desperately need it. I will be right back. All right, hello everyone. Finished the Rule 5 draft. Just wanted to come back very, very quickly. Let you guys know that all of the draftees are going to be signed / have signed. Tommy White, we're still waiting on. Hopefully Tommy can get it together. We're going to give him pretty much $10 million. So I don't see why he wouldn't. But one trade just happened. I'll showcase that really quickly. We gave away Tanner Scott. He was a 1-year deal. We were going to trade him anyway. He's just been extremely unlucky. 3.95 Sierra still isn't great. I thought he was going to be really dominant against lefties. At least his rating showed. And then you go to his splits and you see him against lefties, and he's just still not very good. He's got a positive fit minus, or 95 fit minus. So maybe it was a little harsh, but 1-year deal. We had to move him. We get in return, we get a Samad Taylor and $1 in cash. Yeah, just a fine player. He's got 70 speed, 80 stealing, good util guy. He had option years left, so there's no reason for me not to cash in as much as I can and get another righty bat, who's also a speedster on the base pass. So he'll be in AAA for us. Yeah, that's all that. Oh, I've also picked up on the waiver wires. Brian Abreu from the Houston Astros was available this year. He has had what looks like us, similar to us. He's had very bad luck. He has 3.52 Sierra, but he has a 62 ERA plus and negative WAR. He's striking out 13 per 9, but he's walking 8. We're going to try him as a starter and made some executive decisions. Cole Henry is going to go into the starting lineup. I just can't deny it anymore, so I've moved Tyler Meagle into the closing role. The opener is going to be Joe Mantiply. I've pretty much been using Joe Mantiply as an opener for the most part. He's been fine, 3.33 Sierra, 96 fit minus, so good lefty to start out with, and then Cole Henry to back up. So then we have Sean Dubbin and then Seth Lugo, and then Mark Leiter. Ironically, all 5 of these guys were former relievers. As you can see, last year in AAA for Houston, he was a reliever with 16 saves. Now he's our starting pitcher. So we're gonna go with that tactic. Here's the All-Star game rosters, and a 40 stamina Sandy Alcantara is a All-Star, and it's not because he's Oakland's only representative. Shea Langelier is here as well. Again, Sierra is screaming that he is due for regression. He's a borderline starter. He really only has 3 pitches, 2 of which are fastballs. And it's not like much has changed. I mean, he had a 1.78 BABIP against us, and then for us, and then a 2.42 BABIP with Oakland, and still FIP hates him. His WAR hates him. For the most part, he generated. I definitely don't think he generated only 0 WAR. Yeah, that's there. Daniel Espino's there. Corbin Burns on the Houston Astros, if you guys remember. Looks like he signed an extension for only 4 years, $115 million. One of the best pitchers in the game. Houston Astros just making great moves here. Here's Daniel Espino's stats. Looks like he has become who we all thought he would be. Bailey Falters here. That's a fun one. No, a lot of youngsters here. George Kirby, Shane McClanahan. These are all of these guys are under the age of 30. So that's fun. Yency Almonte's here. Andrew Chafin. Lucas Giolito, someone we tried to sign. Adley Rutschman's here. Starting catcher, Jose Abreu. Vladdy. Trying to see any fun names. Royce Lewis is here. Javi Baez returns to the All-Star game with a 101 OPS plus elite defense at shortstop. Gunnar Henderson has developed well. Taylor Ward, Julio Rodriguez is injured. No, he's not. Mike Trout's back. Aaron Judge is back. Kyle Tucker's back. Josh Naylor's here. Then the National League, Luis Castillo is here. Shohei Ohtani for the Mets. This new pitcher, Kai Wei Tang, with an 85 changeup, a 75 slider, and he throws 95, 97. That is pretty tasty there for the San Francisco Giants. Zach Wheeler's on San Diego. Don't know how that happened. El Diablo is here as the closer. Kyle Muller is a closer. 33 saves, though. Can't disrespect it. This guy, Andy Rodriguez. Kyle Schwarber, first base. Luis Garcia went to the All-Star game for us, and I think that's Alex Kirilloff. Those two are our representatives. Ezekiel Tovar continuing an absolute domination from last year. He led the entire NL in WAR, but Kyle Schwarber ended up with the victory despite having less first-place votes. Austin Hendrick is here. Good to see that he ended up developing. And then JD Martinez is here. Why? I don't know. Not the only Dodger representative. He's just here. Maybe more of a goodbye All-Star game than anything else. I think he's going to end up retiring. But I don't think he's announced it yet. But anyway, that's all I had to update you guys on. The Tanner Scott trade, and then we have successfully signed most of our draft picks, and it has still been depressing. And some lineup changes. I will see you guys in a second with the transfer deadline. I said transfer deadline day like I'm playing Football Manager. With the trade deadline in a few days, in about a couple weeks here. So I will see you guys for that, and let's just hope that everything's different. Everything looks different. Okay, hello everyone. We are back to a trade screen, and this is a big one. And this one, I'm feeling a little bit of life. Okay, I feel a little bit of life coming back to me because of this trade. We are going to give away Nick Ahmed. Salute. Thank you for your service. Projection 2 WAR player. A good season's usually right around 3. He kind of forgot. He left his bat in Arizona. Granted, he left his bat in a while ago. We're going to give up Seth Schumann, non-prospect. OSA doesn't like him. I don't like him. Zion Pettigrew, another non-prospect. And we're going to give up the most unfortunate piece we're giving up is Damiano Palmegiani. I will not miss trying to say that name. We're going to get in return is Aaron Ashby. Big fan of. He's on a nice, long, team-friendly deal. We saw, I've traded for long contracts, so I'm kind of a little bit, I'm hesitant. But unlike Sandy and John Gray, this guy's young, and he's performed well this year. 3.76 Sierra is certainly better than most of our starters this year. He's got good stuff, extreme ground ball, good slider. Again, trying to trade for players with really good, elite breaking pitches. So, Fit minus likes him. The home runs per 9, that's pretty tasty. Next, and then the big one is we are getting the number 4 prospect in Edouard Julien. Listen, I'm not saying Juan Soto, the Canadian Juan Soto, but I think I'm going to say the Canadian Juan Soto. He has 127 OPS plus this year, 2.6 WAR. He's not quite Juan Sotoing yet. The walk to strikeout ratio, Juan walks more than he strikes out, and it's pretty infamous for that. Not quite the 400 on base percentage of Juan Soto, but the potential's there. He's got 80 potential discipline. He's got 55 potential avoid Ks, 50 on OSA, 75 potential contact, 65 home run power. Sorry, I just cut out me coughing, and I said a wild coughing fit. But it's just because I'm so excited, and I also just ate a bagel, so let's try and keep the energy up. This is a phenomenal trade, and I will 100% take this. I'm not going to question it. There might be another trade in the works, so don't worry, guys. I'm going to complete this. I'm going to say I'll be right back, but I got a feeling that I'm going to immediately pull up a trade that I've been thinking about, and I think after this trade I'm going to go ahead and do. So I will see you guys in just a second. Okay, as promised, everyone, welcome back. Let's go ahead and give a big ol' salute to Alex Kirilloff. He has severely overperformed his batting ratings just in time for us to cash in on a big sweet deal for him. This 60 contact, 55 power, resulting in 19 home runs, 336 average, 410 on base percentage, and a 155 OP. He's nearly batting 1,000, which granted he did in AAA, but that was AAA. Or OPS of 1,000, that was AAA. He's 3.8 WAR. He's due for 6.3 WAR. He's borderline All-Star, or not borderline All-Star. He's borderline MVP vote, and he's going to be shipped to the Chicago White Sox. And a big reason for why he's doing so well is nearly 400 BABIP. He is a nearly 400 BABIP, which isn't too crazy. It's not too unlike him. He does have 65 contact against righties. Okay, not too much like him, but we're gonna cash in. We're gonna get the pitching that we so desperately need. If we trade for more pitchers, the more likely we are to get at least one of them to turn out, right? We have Garrett Crochet here. Pretty big prospect for most White Sox fans. He has a 1.8 Sierra this year and a 155 ERA plus and a 72 FIP minus. That is as a reliever. We are probably going to throw him into the starting lineup. And Michael Kopech. Michael Kopech has a 3.13 Sierra, a 89 ERA plus, pretty unlucky, but a 113 FIP minus. Also pretty, we're getting him from free, right? If he ends up not doing well and we don't want to pay his arbitration, we'll trade him. Okay, same, both of these guys. But we just need, this was the best offer I got when I was shopping around Alex Kirilloff, and I couldn't find anyone that was willing to give pretty big prospects in the win now mode. I asked the Yankees and I asked the Mets, and they weren't willing to give up too much for Alex Kirilloff. So they can see through the facade, but the Chicago White Sox cannot. And I don't think the White Sox are doing great this year. Nope, they are almost as bad as us. Good for them. 389 win percentage, 371. Twinsies. We are going to go ahead and get this trade done. I know I'm so sorry, fans, but players leery of Michael Kopech. That's okay. We have the Captain Nick Madrigal and Michael Ciani. Hopefully that should clear up any concerns about Michael Kopech and his disruptive personality. So if it ends up not, then trade him and or cut him. This is more of a let's see how he does, and if he does really well, then we got ourselves our guy, and if we don't, then we trade him during the off season. And we get something for him. Someone's gonna pay for him. We'll get a piece that we need. Either that's rotation spot or utility guy or a bench spot that we might need, a good defender, something like that. So that's the trade. It's not even the trade deadline day. I don't want to get constrained with time limit, and I also don't want to wait for my players to get injured. So I'm just kind of chopping them out now, and then during the trade deadline, mainly for the trade deadline, it's more about what the AI offers me. And hopefully we get one of those really, really good deals. So that's it. Those are the two trades we'll probably get done. I can't imagine I'm going to get any more done. I've shopped around Carlos Perez and nobody really wants him, which is kind of shocking and a little disappointing because we really could have cashed in on him, and I'm really upset that we did it. I really don't want to pay $6.5 million in arbitration for Carlos Perez. He is 74 OPS plus, a negative WAR player. So I have no intention of keeping him. So I'm going to add everyone to the roster. We're going to keep Simmons through the season. Probably no more trades. If I pick anyone up on the waiver wire, I'll let you guys know on deadline day. But for the time being, I will see you guys on transfer deadline day. I said transfer again. It's trade deadline. Hi, welcome back. I just got offered a pretty good trade for Carlos Perez, so we are going to let him go. Complete and utter disappointment of a season, and unfortunately should have probably got rid of him a lot earlier while his value was at its absolute peak. But I don't know. I trust it. I don't know. Really disappointing. But what we do get, we're going to get Domingo Germán, who I have no intention of keeping. I will probably cut and or look to trade him away. We get some prospects. We get Nick Durjan with high work ethic, 65 curveball, whatever. But the real big thing is getting Lazaro Montes. This is a pretty decent prospect to be getting in return for Carlos Perez. If he can get to that 70 home run power and discipline and stuff like that, he'll be useful. This may look like a little bit of a weak trade, all things considered, for Carlos Perez, but I have this is the best trade I've gotten offered for. Like, the AI has been offering trades for Carlos Perez, but this is probably by far the closest. They're usually offering me like really even worse pitchers than Germán, like a 1.5 star, like AAA 28-year-old. And then some 19-year-old prospect that's like half a star, and his profile is awful. So this has been by far the best trade I've gotten offered. So I am not going to turn it down. I'm going to go ahead and accept it. Goodbye, Carlos Perez. Thank you so much for everything you've done for the club. And by that, I mean, please never come back. Germán, yeah, I mean, I just, I'll shop him around, probably look to trade him if I can't find anybody. I'll probably just inevitably cut him. So just wanted to showcase that trade. Really quickly, there we go. Perez heads to Seattle. Congratulations. And hopefully Lazaro Montes ends up doing pretty well for us. So hopefully he develops. And yeah, I mean, that's the best we can hope for at this point. Perez is batting 219. No, I mean, thought he was batting 304 last year. Anyway, all right, that's that. Again, any other trades happen, I'll pause it. If not, I'll see the trade deadline. All right, hello everyone. It is trade deadline day. I've just had to watch us suffer absolute brutal losses back to back. Yeah. Yeah. Quick look at the standings. I kind of want to take a look at our one-run game. How many we've won? One-run games. We are 9-18. We are 9-18. We are a -6 run differential Pythagorean theorem, so we're expected to be 43-59. We're actually 37-65. That is the unluckiest in the entire major leagues. I mean, still we're -83 run differential, so not, it can't be too where we're 3-4 in extra innings, 9-18 in one-run games. We're 4-6 post All-Star, 33-59. Pre-All-Star, we're getting smacked by righties, which is crazy because we had so many lefties on our team, so I don't really know where that's coming from. But anyway, today's the trading deadline. Let's go ahead and do it. See if we get any good offers. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at the oh, did I hit free agents? Player trade. Go take a look at the trading block. See who's on there. Taylor Rogers is on there with his behemoth of a contract. It's not that big of a contract. I don't know. I was just saying stuff. Omar Narvaez is on the trade block. None of these guys interest me. They're all old. Michael Brantley's here. Why is he still playing? He's actually good still. I take it back, Michael. I apologize. Brandon Drury's that's a fun one. Trevor Mays in Seattle. Hey, he went back home. He's from Washington. Brandon Woodruff's here, who just dominated us, but didn't even really dominate us. He gave up 3 home runs. They were just all solo shots. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I don't really think that there's any players that I specifically want to get rid of. I've already looked around for Seth Lugo. Nobody's interested. I've looked around for Corey Abbott. Nobody's interested. Fernando Cruz. Nobody's interested. Honeywell, Derek Hill. All of these guys that are leaving next year, I've already taken a look. Term of big contracts next year. Crochet is the big one, but I would like to keep him. I think he's a really good pitcher. Leiter I'd like to keep. Luis Garcia obviously I'd like to keep. Madrigal I think I'd like to keep. He's done really well this year. He's batting .348. Morejon I'd like to keep. Brian Abreu I'm going to keep. CJ, I mean, all these guys I'd like to keep. Josiah Gray I don't want to keep. So I am going to shop. Let's go ahead and see what we can get for Josiah Gray. This 35 movement and extreme fly ball has just been a recipe for disaster. It's just been awful. It's so unfortunate. It's honestly frustrating that he's turned out so poorly. And that movement never developed anything past 35. So he's just going to have to go. He's in AAA. No intention of keeping him. He performed poorly. He plays poorly. His ratings are poor. Nobody wants him, and I'm not particularly too surprised. So take a drink. I did say particularly there. I think that might be my first one of the day. So let's go ahead and round of applause for me for not saying particularly 20 times. I just said it again there, so we're on our way. 18 more. And yeah, all these guys I'd like gone anyway. And nobody's gonna want them. Pache's still on a minimum, so that's fine. Yeah, I mean, nobody I'm particularly too excited about. I did claim San Martin off the waiver wires. I think he's a really good pitcher. This is a good profile that I like. 70 changeup. It's pretty nasty. And I got him for free, and he had option year, so I sent him down. We're paying half the $740,000 while he's in AAA, so why not, right? All right, let's continue. Mainly want to see if anyone offers me anything. No. Any interesting trades? Lamont Wade Jr. is heading to Houston. Luis Ortiz to the Dodgers, sure, for a wait, this Luis Ortiz? What? I mean, dude, where are these offers for me? Are you kidding me? They gave up that for Luis Ortiz? He's at 3.81. He's a 64 ERA plus. What? Is that like a favor or something? Raisel Iglesias and 95% of his contract staying in Atlanta, but he's going to Colorado. They get Tyler Hill. I like Tyler Hill. Good guy. Devin Williams is added to the Astros for Joey Chestnut. Non-prospect. Wow, that's great. That's the issues with that being on hard trade difficulty all the way. I'm just gonna have to sit here and stomach some of these trades that they're making. Chapman's headed to the Dodgers. Zach Gallen is headed to the Royals. Sure, it's a good get from the Royals. What'd they give up for him? They gave him some decent players. Gavin Cross is good, and Ben Hernandez is decent. JP Sears heads to Houston. Houston is they're wheeling dealing. Offer me a trade, Houston. Come on, give me like a 5-star prospect for like a reliever that I have. Brett Beatty used to be on the Mets. Looks like he's on Cleveland now, but no, he's on St. Louis for Juan Yepez. Interesting trade. Doesn't look like anyone too big. I'm looking for star names. Not you, Eric Hosmer, who's also headed to the Astros. Kodai Senga's heading to the Dodgers. That's a fun one for Gavin Lux. Gavin Lux. Okay, that's a pretty big trade. That looks pretty fair, honestly. The Dodgers probably gave up a little bit too much, but if they have the depth then, and they needed starting pitching, then that's totally fair and understandable. All right, here's the trades we made. So let's continue. Nothing too interesting going on. No one's even offering me anything. That's so rude. Daniel Vogelbach's heading to the Reds. Hey, Mr. 88. Whoa, I'm sorry. Oh, is he injured? What? Where's his season? Why does he have 19 games played? What happened? He has no injury history. He was just sitting on the bench. He also only walked 5% of the time. Danny Burgers, what happened? That was weird. Oh, that was weird. Okay, nothing too interesting still. There's like a big trade there, and I'm totally blanking. Oh, Nick Lodolo was the thing they gave up. Lodolo's nasty. He's got a nasty slider. They called it a curveball in this game. Lodolo is nasty. Watched the game live on ESPN against the Phillies. He was dirty. Naughty boy. All right, last round. Oh, nope. Man, we get off for nothing. All right, well, that was the most uneventful trade deadline that could possibly happen for us. We traded all our players away that we wanted to trade away before it even happened, so we didn't have the time constraint, which is kind of a theme. Maybe I should save players to make it a little more exciting, like the hecticness, but at least for this season, it's been so depressing. Just let me have a win, right? A little bit of updates. Robert Hassel III is brought up, and he is in the starting lineup. Voice crack, oh my God. This is a great profile, and I hope he continues to develop. Gabriel Arias is now our starting shortstop. Anything else? Nope. Obviously, Edward, Julian is in here, so hopefully he develops. All right, so I will probably end up simming all the way till the end of the season, and just kind of get this season out of the way. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. This has been mentally exhausting, and I'm very disappointed with the previous off season, and I have a lot of wrongs that I have to make right in the next off season if my owner even gives me a chance. So hopefully I can prove that, not only to my owner but to you guys. This has been so disappointing, and it has been so unlucky. All my pitchers and all my hitters just aren't hitting, and the ones that did, I had to trade away. So, hey man, 4th in batting average, we'll take that. 2nd in stolen bases, and we are not the worst defense in the league anymore. So, woo! All right, guys. Again, appreciate you guys for tuning in. I can't imagine if we start making a break for the playoffs, 16 games back. I will tune in and start watching some games, but I highly doubt it. So, more than likely, see you guys at the end of the season. All right, hello everyone, welcome back. It is officially the end of the season, and I can say we have improved on from last year. As you can see right here, we went 71-91. I'm pretty sure that was better than last year. I want to say last year we went 63 and 67, 65 and 97. What even just came out of my mouth? I don't even remember. Luckily, I looked at our owner, and his current mood is happy, which is great. That is phenomenal. In terms of our goals, nothing was of target this year, other than upgrade possession and team record, which is fine, which isn't so completely, which we didn't, and upgrade at left field, James Wood. That was a great success. And to kind of emphasize, I'm kind of over I was really bitter when I started the recording, because of just how poorly the season went and how many moves, and it's a bit frustrating because I had to make a bunch of moves involving players that I personally made moves for, whether that's trading or free agency. So players like Matt Carpenter, John Gray, Sandy Alcantara, who ended up being an all-star, and then we played Oakland, and he ended up striking out 8, which was his highest of the season. He also averages, by the way, only 5 Ks per 9, so that's great. Little bit of extra bite behind his pitches there, probably for us trading him. Probably literally only 2 months after we traded for him. Players like Jonathan Loizaco we ended up trading away. That was more just because the offer was too good to decline, and I kind of was planning on trading him anyway. And so to emphasize how unlucky this season was, we can look at the team stats rankings here. We were 9th in batter WAR and 8th in pitching WAR. Okay, that's not great. We were 4th in WOBA, weighted on base average, and 2nd in strikeouts. We were 2nd in strikeouts, yet we were 11th in FIP and 8th in pitching WAR. FIP loves strikeouts. Those are outs. Strikeouts are outs. FIP loves strikeouts. We were 15th in starter ERA, which was dead last, and yet still 2nd in strikeouts, which is just crazy. We were 4th in runs scored. We were 3rd in batting average. Our offense was clicking. And towards the end of the season, and with the addition of Edouard Julien, I can't sit here and be like, like all the additions I made, players just started showing up. CJ showed up. Hassel showed up coming out of AAA. He ended up hitting 11 home runs. He was only on the team for half the season. I'm really proud of him for that. Coming out of AAA and hitting 11 home runs is not easy. Luis Garcia showed up. He nearly bat 300. James Wood showed up. He had 24 home runs, 83 RBIs. Gabriel Arias was a bit of a disappointment. But really just trying to shore up the defense at shortstop, which is fine. Michael Ciani, just defense. Not really supposed to be a good offense. Is it time to trade Kaiba Ruiz? That's going to be the big offseason. And when I'm done recording and I edit this and I post it, and I'm thinking between the next between me recording the next episode and offseason, it's going to be like a really long thought process for me, because everything to me screams like this is a good profile, right? He's got 55 catcher ability. If this can go up to 50, if the eye can go up to 50, look at these 80 avoid Ks against righties, and he's still striking out 16% of the time. Just for reference, here's a split: 16% of the time in general against righties. That's a lot for 75 avoid Ks. Let's go to Nick Madrigal, right? Madrigal is slightly higher. Granted, he's got 90 avoid Ks, but he's striking out 5.5% of the time. That's 90. I mean, look, 90 against righties. Look what he's doing. He's 3.6% against 9. That's my idea of Kaiba Ruiz. Yeah, right. He's not 90 avoid Ks. I get it. I'm still expecting double digits. I'm expecting 10. But I'm expecting that. 2022 is 11.5%. In AAA, 11.7%. That's what I'm picturing when I see avoid K75. But for some reason, it's just not clicking. And I don't understand why. I sincerely don't. So Kaiba Ruiz is an enigma and a confusing problem that we'll just have to figure out, huh? All right. So yeah, Edouard Julien, that was such a wonderful addition, right? A 173 OPS plus for us. He generated 2 WAR with us, 1,000 OPS. He hit 17 bombs, more than he hit from Milwaukee. Reminder what we gave up. We gave up Nick Ahmed, Seth Schumann, Zion Pettigrew, and Damiano Palamigiani, who was awful for them. That's very unfortunate. As much as I love that name, it was really hard to say, so I'm happy that we got to trade him. We also got Aaron Ashby, who performed pretty well, a 120 plus ERA, or 120 ERA plus, an 89 FIP minus, a 1.1 WAR, 4.05 Sierra. That was a good year, and I'm happy for Aaron Ashby pulling through. Let's go ahead and take a look at just in general. Take a look at some of our leaders here. In WARs, Edouard Julien, he had 4.6. Gabriel Arias. Oh, this is AAA, isn't it? Major League. Edouard Julien had a 4.6 WAR. Luis Garcia had 3.2 WAR. He had a really good season. I'm really happy for him. He locked into third base, so it's exactly where I want him to play. 343 on base, 491 slugging, 121 OPS plus, 18 home runs, 54 doubles. That's what I'm talking about. I'm really happy with his development. It says he can get better, but I don't. My scout isn't saying where he can get better batting ratings. It might be slightly, but the fact he can hit lefties and righties pretty much equally is phenomenal for the lineup. So I'm really happy about that. Robert Hassel, the third, the young guns. That's really, and that's why I'm a little happier and I'm a little more upbeat at the end of this episode, because the young guys came through at the end. The development is crazy. Our farm system is so strong. Like, when I said after last year, and I said, I'm going to make changes and I feel confident we're going to like do well next year. And now here we are next year, and I'm going to be like, well, I'm feeling really confident when we go into the off season, we're going to have a good 2025. We're going to have a good next year. But this is different, right? We have so many good youngsters, and Julian Hassel, James Wood, Andy Pages, our number 1 draft pick. I forget his name off the top of my head. Tommy White. He's dominating. He dominated A+ ball with a 210 OPS plus in only 12 games. So I immediately moved him up to AA. We had a 106 OPS plus. And then Dylan Cruz is finally in AAA. He went back up to this used to be 5 stars. Looked like he went back down to 4. He looks like a really, really strong prospect, and he bats right. Let's go. He had in 25 games in AAA, he had 146 OPS plus. And for most of the year, he was in AA, where he generated 3.2 WAR, and then in A+. I mean, he generated 6.2 plus point. He had 6.7 WAR in A+, AA, AAA combined. Dylan Cruz is gonna be fantastic, and so the future is so bright. Robert Hassel, when he started, he was really struggling at about an 80 OPS plus, but at the end of the season, he just started hitting and then hit. Look at hits: 2 hits, 1 hit, 2 hit, 1 hit, 2 hit, home run, triple, no walks. Who walks? Walks are for losers. CJ, we talked about how unlucky he was this season. He at least brought it back a little bit. This is about what I expect from him, I suppose. I want that batting average higher with 70 contact. I expect it to be higher, and I think he's 75. No, he's 70 still against righties. He's a little weaker against lefties for some time period. During the middle of the season, he was benched during lefties because he just wasn't performing very well against lefties. He has 79 OPS plus. Righties is really where he dominates. Lefties is what was bringing him down. So I think that kind of helped his OPS plus at the end of the day, sitting him against lefties. Andy Pages ended up hitting 9 home runs in 69 games. A little disappointing, so I expect a little more pop out of him, but still slugging 468. He was walking just about 10% of the time, which is perfect. If you're striking out 25% of the time, at least walk 10% of the time. And if he can continue to do that, that's great. 1.4 WAR from Andy Pages. James Wood, his potential went back up in the last couple of months. It slowly went up. It was at 4-star, and now it's back to 4.5 stars. 24 home runs is fantastic. Again, if you're going to strike out 25% of the time, please try and keep it close to 10% of the time on the walks. He's pretty good on the base pass. He's got 55 speed, 70 stealing, 1.2 WAR from James Wood. He can play first base, left, center, right. It's fantastic. And then Gabriel Arias, again, just more defensive after Nick Ahmed left. I'm happy about picking him up on the waivers. Nick Madrigal had a fantastic season. 82 games, he hit 346 with a 123 OPS plus. He's a captain. He's good for the locker room. He's relatively cheap. Next year he's going to be about $4 million. That's fine. He generated 0.9 WAR in 82 games. Extrapolate that over the entire season. About 2.2, 2.1 WAR player. Michael Ciani, defense. That's fine. 0.8 WAR, 71 OPS plus. That's fine. Not too I should be considering, upgrading my center fielder. But I'm a believer in Michael Ciani. I wish he was a little faster. But 26 stolen base into 3 caught stealing. That's fantastic. I appreciate that. He had 3 triples with only 35 gap power. Don't ask me how he did it, but he did it. Jonathan Aranda was extremely disappointing, especially coming off a pretty strong year, 3 WAR season. Very disappointing from him. Kyber Ruiz, we talked about. Kristen Pache, I'm very happy about that. Good backup defensive outfielder who can play all across the outfield and be an elite defender. Really good late inning defensive substitution for someone like James Wood, who isn't great in the outfield, or same thing with Andy Pages. Who is not great in the outfield. So happy about that. Samad Taylor, waiver wire pickup. He was fine. Again, maniac on the base pass, 7 stolen bases in 29 starts. That's fine. He just didn't get on base enough to show off that speed. And then our backup catcher after Carlos Perez, Israel Pineda. He's got a captain personality class. Perfect. He's on a minimum contract. Perfect. Again, he only had a 63 OPS plus. Whatever, don't care. He's good for the locker room and a decent backup and decent against lefties. So I think that's almost like the average MLB player right there. So I'm happy about that. And then pitching wise, in terms of WAR generated. Again, let's emphasize Major League. Aaron Ashby led the way. He had 2 WAR between Milwaukee and Washington. Pretty good. Pretty happy about that. Brian Abreu was a great success at starting. He's been a reliever almost all of his career. Throw him in at starter, and all he did was produce a 2 WAR season in 15 games, only 73 innings at 3.72 SIERA. Technically a below average ERA, but I think that'll be okay. I think the K should go up a little bit more. I'm happy about the home run to walk and strike ratio, 1.34 WHIP, 7.73 FIP minus. That's fantastic. The peripherals look good. Hopefully Brian Abreu next year does well. Tyler Maygill, he started the year as a starter. But he only ended up starting 1 game for us because he just didn't, and I just didn't want him that much in the starting rotation, but he ended the season really well. He had 19 saves, 1.27 WHIP isn't great, but a 101 ERA plus, 86 FIP minus, a 3.35 SIERA. It should be good for next year. Garrett Crochet, again, we traded for him for Alex Kirilloff. Happy about that. Again, the BABIP's a little high, 1.48 WHIP. Kind of explains that, but 88 FIP minus, 3.35 SIERA. The peripherals are loving it, and I'm loving it. Phil Bickford had a good season like we expected him to. This is a good profile for this pitcher. The question is do we keep him in arbitration? His stuff went down, I'm pretty sure. If we check really quickly, I'm pretty sure his stuff went down. No, stuff stayed the same. I apologize. Thought it was at 70, and I apologize. What did go down? Nothing went down. I'm just tripping. I apologize, Phil Bickford. I didn't mean to disrespect you like that. Carlos Vargas didn't have the season I really expected him to, but he turned it around towards the end. 128 ERA plus here. 0.4 home runs per nine. That's what I'd love to see. 75 moving, extreme ground ball, throwing 100 miles an hour. Fastball sinker combo. The walks are about what you expect. 9 Ks per 9, great. 75 FIP minus, 3.92. Great. Jimmy Burnett was a great success. Really happy about that at 2.2 SIERA. His ERA plus is at a 106 and an 85 FIP minus. Just need those walks to go down just a little bit, but 14 Ks per 9, pretty much fantastic. And you guys can look at the rest. Morejon, he had 0.9 WAR, 97 ERA plus. Brent Herter was really good for us this year. Remember, we got him from Detroit for we got Eric Haas and Justin Henry Malloy. We traded away Kyle Finnegan. Yasel Antuna, Kevin Biggio, Wilmer Perez, just a bunch of scrubs. And so he's turned out really well. Seth Lugo was injured for a little bit, but he came back and he was a good success. Good waiver pickup, Michael Kopech. He a little disappointing for Michael Kopech. I think I might end up trading away Michael Kopech. I don't like that I keep saying his name. He just wasn't good enough. The FIP minus ERA plus was about what it was with the White Sox. So is the WHIP. Actually, it ended up being worse. So 45 movement with extreme fly ball. We traded away Josiah Gray for that, or we tried to, and probably won't keep him. Mackenzie Gore was injured for a little bit. He only ended up starting 12 games. Mostly kept him in a reliever role when he came back because I wanted to make sure he didn't get himself hurt or anything. Ended with a 4.25 SIERA, 0.2 WAR, and 91 ERA plus, an average year from Mackenzie Gore. Cade Cavalli, he came back finally from his torn UCL that sent him back for 16 months. He came back with a 7.12 ERA, but his peripherals in SIERA 3.33 like him a little bit more. They do not expect that 1.9 home runs per 9 to continue, and I don't either. And then Christian Montes de Oca was probably the most frustrating reliever to watch pitch and to read box scores from, because he blew save after blue save after blue save. Not blue saves. He's technically not. He only blew 3 saves, but he just gave up so many home runs in clutch positions. If we go ahead and take a look at the standings, go to the expand team, we had a -8 expected difference. The same with the Rays. They were expected 193, but they still win the AL East. So I would still quantify us as the unluckiest team in baseball. We went 18-26 in one-run games. But post All-Star game went 38-32. Pretty happy about that. Last time went 7-3, and that was even with Julian had a hamstring injury that took him out for the last month or so of the season. More like 2 or 3 weeks. So, negative 18 run differential, like for reference, like what's another negative, right around the same differential. Like the Baltimore Orioles ended up going 79-83. We went 71-91. Right about the same. But we would definitely be wanting to go for about, trying to go for the 50% win percentage to hope that we get into the playoffs. But I think we're going to do better next year. Everything's so good for next year. We'll take a quick look at the statistics. Who's the league leaders? Alek Thomas is your batting title winner in the NL. The AL looks Alex Kirilloff. I don't know if he technically gets it. For the White Sox, technically, not quite sure. If he doesn't get it, then it's gonna be Zach Neto. Never heard of this guy. He had a 5.5 WAR season for the Yankees. Yankees fans, I'm sure you're happy about that. 57 home runs from Mike Trout. 33 years old, still just the best player in baseball, probably. 147 RBIs. Juan Soto led the on-base percentage, but hey, look at that. It's Canadian Juan Soto. Slugging is Vladdy Guerrero. He ended up hitting 46 home runs, I see. Juan Soto OPS, 10 WAR season. Wow, a 10 WAR season from Julio Rodriguez, and they were only paying him $10 million this year and only $18 million for the next math is hard. I don't know. Was that like 10 seasons, 9 seasons? That's ridiculous. I'm questioning this first training him at first base when he's got this outfield range, but 10 WAR season, batting 300, 163 OPS plus, 39 home runs, 61 stolen bases, 10% walk ratio, 25 doubles, 6 triples. Wow, 10 WAR season. Congratulations to Julio Rodriguez. Bobby Witt Jr., unfortunately for you, bud, you had an 8.2 WAR season. Same thing with you, Mike Trout, 7.4. Too bad. Julio Rodriguez is going to be your AL MVP, and I think Juan Soto will probably end up getting the NL MVP. CJ Abrams led in at-bats. He led off for us pretty much every single game. Most runs scored, CJ Abrams. That's cool. Most doubles, Luis Garcia. There we go. I love to see that we're leading something. CJ Abrams was 4th in stolen bases. Total bases was Vladdy. Strikeouts was Eugenio Suarez. Stanton still trying his best to catch up to the all-time strikeout record. WOBA was Juan Soto. OPS plus was Juan Soto. But Shohei! No! If I see Shohei on this list too, I'm going to lose my mind. Espino is your ERA champion. Good for him. In the AL, NL, it's going to be Aaron Nola. Max Scherzer leads wins right in front of Corbin Burns. Logan Webb lost 18 games. Yikes. Kyle Muller, again, for some reason as a closer now, but he's dominating. Good for him. Most WARs, Corbin Burns. Most innings pitched is Shane McClanahan. Shutouts, 3 shutouts from Corbin Burns. Remember when I said that he's one of the best pitchers in baseball and in this game? Absolutely. Carlos Rondon led strikeouts. That's pretty cool. Most walks was Kai Wei Tang. I mean, this is such a good... I would like him, so I might attempt to trade for him. FIP was Corbin Burns. WHIP was Max Scherzer. Walks per 9 was George Kirby with only 1.4, but he tore flexor tendon, so we're going to give it to Zach. We're going to give it to Zach. I mean, Sandy Alcantara with the... Right. The league's lowest BABIP, 0.248. 245. That must be nice. Fielding leaders. Anyone cares about that? Error leaders were Bo Bichette and CJ Abrams. CJ, come on, dog. What are we doing? It's because he played like almost every single game. Luis Garcia, he was learning third base. Give him a break. Most range was Kyber Ruiz. Fascinating. Zone rating was Francisco Lindor, followed by Nicky Lopez. No, not too many shocks there. Ahmed on that list. Yep, Nick Ahmed there. 7th. Good for him. Framing runs was Jose Trevino. No shock there. He'll probably lead it until he retires. Catcher ERA was Will Smith and Austin Hedges up there. And see, see how important defensive catchers are sometimes. Damn, that you know how good you have to be a bad bat and still generate .54. Isn't that like the Mathis, the baseball reference, like sub 60 OPS plus or sub 50 OPS plus, still positive WAR. Attaboy. And also, when the Tampa Bay Rays pay you big money, they're not paying him any money. That sounds more like the Rays. They're paying him 0% of that. All right, well, there you go. All right, we will go ahead and watch the playoffs here. We'll take a look at who's in. Mariners. Ooh, we get a 2020 player. Oh yeah, by the way, it's something I totally forgot. Cole Henry tore his rotator cuff, and Mark Leiter Jr. tore his labrum. Really unfortunate. Both of those guys are having wonderful, wonderful seasons. Brent Honeywell Jr. has elbow tendonitis. That's tragic, but he just wasn't. He was just like I just wanted to see how the screwball would end up working, and it didn't. Spoiler, it didn't. Real quick, take a look at the standings so we know who's in the playoffs. The Rays make the playoffs. No one else in the AL East made it. The Yankees went 74-88 with the second highest player payroll. There you go. They're holding on to 95% of Frankie Montes' contract there. Nestor's here. Good for him. Higgy's gone to the Tampa Bay Rays. That's unfortunate. The Royals win the AL Central despite being 20th in the entire MLB in runs. Oh, they got Enrique Bradfield Jr. Wow. Yeah, he always ends up being really good. Ramon Laureano's here. That's fun. Minnesota Twins are your wild card spot, 87-75. They won 11-1 in extra innings. That must be nice. For reference, we went 6-9. Nice. Houston Astros on 94-68. The Angels made the playoffs. Let's go. Congratulations. We get to watch Mike Trout in the playoffs. By watch them, I mean like Ben Joyce. By watching it simulate. Seattle Mariners go to the playoffs. Unlucky for the Athletics and unlucky for the Rangers. That's a really tough division, the AL West. How are the Astros are just super OP. They even have Eric Hosmer starting. That's how OP they are. They have them batting. You know how OP you have to be to have Eric Hosmer in your second slot, like batting second, and still be the best team and probably the most difficult. Oh, right. I totally forgot. ADHD moment there. Devin Williams is on the Astros now. Can we beat these kind of teams in the playoffs? Probably not, but hey, man, any given day, right? The Mets obviously won the NL East. It'd be harder to fail with this lineup. Starling Marte, Brandon Nimmo, Ronnie Mauricio, Shohei Ohtani, Pete Alonso, Jack McNeil, Francisco Lindor, Omar Narvaez, Luis Guillorme. Looks like Thomas Nido, Kendall Graveman, Brooks Raley are all injured. Edwin Diaz is back. Nick Lodolo, Shohei Ohtani, Jose Quintana, sure. Clay Holmes, Michael Fulmer, Rookie of the Year, Michael Fulmer, Justin Verlander. Look away. Team option. Do you think they're going to take it? Do you think they're going to take this team option? $35 million. What happened? Nothing. He just sucks now. What did he get? He got to 40. He got to 41 there. Like OOTP spit on Justin Verlander's career. Cubs and Reds make the playoffs. That's exciting. Cardinals don't. Again, I don't think. And then the Dodgers are the only 100-win team in the entire Major League Baseball, with their homegrown talent in Mickey Vargas. Mookie Betts is not homegrown talent. Neither is Brian Reynolds. Will Smith is. TJ Friedel isn't. JD Martinez is still around. Matt Chapman Aldemus Diaz, Miggy Rojas, Urias, Bueller, Dustin May, Kodai Senga's here. That's right. Evan Phillips, Tony Gonsolin, James Outman's in the IL. Freddie Freeman's got knee tendonitis. We hope that he gets back. Marcus Stroman is on this team. Sure. And then the San Diego Padres, who are they still in $1 bajillion in debt? Yes, they are. They are $21 million over their budget, and it's only going to get worse next season. They're committed to more money next year than they are this year. Look at these contracts. Oh my goodness gracious. This is an eyesore. 38-year-old Yu Darvish. 34-year-old Nick Martinez. They're not taking that. They signed Drew Rasmussen. Manny Machado luckily they backloaded it instead of front loaded it. Look at that. Oh my God, they're gonna spend $340 million in 2027. Why? Tatis gets a boost, pay raise. Oh my God, I totally forgot they're paying Juan Soto $58 million a year, and honestly, he's probably worth more. Cronenworth, player option, he's going to take that. Blake Snell, 21. Joe Musgrove still around. Tarek Skubal, they signed that ugly contract. What are they doing? Oh my gosh. Yeah, Robert Suarez. I think is that a player opt out. He's not opting out, brother. I hate to tell you, AJ Preller, he's not opting out, man. And then some of the guys are going to end up on arbitration. Nabil Chrismat's due for arbitration. They have Connor Joe. Yay, there's Connor Joe. All right. That was fun. As fun as that was. All right, let's watch the playoffs real quick. Take a look at some of these guys on the waivers. Cody Bradford. He's fun, but I've got so many relievers because I've claimed so many off the waiver. I'm probably, hey, Cooper Criswell. Hey, Cooper Criswell, let's go. Legend. Love Cooper Criswell. He is an OOTP legend. Cooper Criswell. I've had many good saves with this guy and his nasty slider. All right. Here we go. Let's watch. Hey, hey. Who's going to win? Who's okay? Mariners, Twins. Who's next? Seattle goes. Braves beat the Padres. $20 million in debt for what? To bounce in the wild card. Okay. The Cincinnati Reds beat the Cubs. Mariners beat the Astros. Let's go. Braves beat the Dodgers. Royals beat the Twins. Whoa. Mets beat the Reds. That was a weirdly close game. Whoa. Royals Braves. The 4-0. What happened? Oh, the Royals. They sweep. Oh my gosh. The Royals sweep the Braves in the World Series. That was electric. That was really fast. 2 sweeps in the both LCSs, in the NLCS and the ALCS. And then the Royals capture lightning bottling again for their 3rd ever World Series. I'm pretty sure ever. At least since I've been alive, right? Let's take a look how many World Series they have now. There we go. Info. History. Let's see. Champion. Oh, they won one in 1985. Add George Brett. There you go. So it's their. Yeah, no, it is their 3rd. That's right. 2016 was their only one. I thought they won it twice. I guess. Oh no, but they went to the final, didn't they? Yeah, and they lost to the. I was like in middle school. I totally forget. Was it Cleveland? Don't remember. All right. Well, that's going to be the end of the video. Next episode, we'll go through all the offseason stuff. To a quick summary of the season was depression, more depression, and then a little more optimism, right? Some young, youthful players that came up and did pretty well for us, and we're hoping for big seasons from that next year. And I think that our projections next year will look significantly better than they did the year before, the beginning of this year. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hopefully next year is our year. And I think that if next year isn't our year, we're going to get fired. And if we get fired, that's going to be the end of the series. But I don't think we're going to get fired. I don't. We might, though. We might. All right. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, I would sincerely appreciate if you subscribe, like, comment, do whatever you want at the end of the day. You're your own person. Don't listen to me simply because I told you to do things, right? But you should, a little bit of good cop, bad cop there, but it's really just one cop. Yeah, that wasn't great. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next episode.